Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us. This is Jesse at Insureon, and today we have Leanne Wright, the VP of Account Management at Insureon, with us. Leanne has been in insurance and risk management for 20 plus years, most of that in helping small business owners. She's also a certified insurance counselor, and she was a small business owner herself for 5 years. Thanks, Leanne, for joining us.
Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate being here.
Great. One of the reasons I want to talk to you today, Leanne, is we're in such an uncertain economy. Small business owners are looking for any way to cut costs while they're struggling. And obviously, most of them have insurance policies and everything is on the table right now. So as they're looking to save money, is there a way that they can perhaps pause a policy or two and then pick it up again once they feel like their business is in a more stable place?
Jesse, that's a great question. But insurance is built on a 12-month model, so you have an annual policy, and so it's rated accordingly. So you basically pay the premium for 12 months of coverage, and it's spread out throughout the 12 months. So if there's just no option to start and stop a policy.
Okay. So it sounds like if my only option as a small business owner would be to cancel the policies and then start new ones if I felt like my business were in a better place. Is that correct?
Well, that is an option, but what I would recommend is talking to your risk advisor, who would be able to, talk to you about, current coverages, things like payroll, sales. Have they changed? Are things different now than when you started the policy because of whatever situation you're in? And that way you can possibly keep the policy. I would never recommend canceling. And there's ways of offering savings for business owners to keep the policy so that they can satisfy other requirements that they have.
Okay. Let's say that a small business owner, has thought about the risks and is willing to cancel a policy. And obviously they know that they won't have coverage after that policy is canceled, but what other risks may a small business owner not be thinking about that they should be aware of before they take such a step?
Yeah, it seems like it would be the answer, but it's really not. And I'm glad you asked that question because there's so many things that a business owner does that's under contract. I think that's the things that we have to think about. So in other words, if you have a business license, you have a liquor license with the city, if you it's a requirement under contract to have the insurance policy. So if you let that go, trying to get a liquor license back or a business license back is very difficult. One of the other areas I can think of is an equipment. You have an equipment lease, anything that you lease, and you have an insurance requirement on that to keep coverage on that to protect the lender, and you let that go. They can repossess the equipment or they can force coverage on you. Another area maybe would be with your building. If you have a loan, like a mortgage on your building, and the minute the bank realizes that you canceled your policy, it's called forced coverage as well. And it usually is about 2 to 3 times the premium as what you've already paid. So now you're stuck with 2 or 3 times insurance premium because you don't have any insurance coverage. Maybe one more thing would be your car. We think, oh, we can just park that car and we don't have to cover it. But if you have a lease out there or any kind of a loan on it, there's still the liability of it, and you still owe them money, and you still is required to keep your coverage on it. Plus, if you cut your insurance, then if it rolls or burns or damages other property or someone gets hurt around it or on it, then you're responsible for that as well. And it could really affect your business.
So it sounds like, I could lose my business license, my business permits, which can take a lot of paperwork and time to get back. I could, have my equipment repossessed. I could pay sky high premiums with that forced coverage. And with my auto, obviously or my car, that could be repossessed. And obviously if something happened, I would be responsible in full for any damages.
Correct.
So obviously these are a lot of risks that small business owners might not have thought about. And maybe they don't even have a risk advisor to guide them through this. What resources do small business owners have to help to understand all of these policies and risks and what their options are for saving money during a tough economy?
Well, I think that's where you have your trusted risk advisor, Insureon. We have a multitude of experience on our account management team and our production team, and you would go and ask them for their advice and talk to them, and they would be given you the valued information that you're looking for to cover any kind of assets that you're trying to cover, any kind of risks or contracts. The place that you would go would be to go to our website, which would be Insureon.com, and you can chat, or you can call. The information about our different products is there, and the expertise. We can hook you up with the experts that would help you untangle this insurance web and all your questions.
Great. Thank you. We appreciate it. So again, if anybody has any questions, just visit Insureon.com. You can read through our information to help you untangle that insurance mess, like Leanne put it, and get in contact with our experts who are happy to talk with you. All right. Thank you, Leanne, for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.